guys, Arthur here, and it's October, so you know what that means. It's the season of the spook, and actually I'm not the biggest fan of Halloween, so to combat the season of the spook, I'm going to start my own season of the smile, and today we're going to start that off by looking at... Bruh. Actually, I'm good, thanks. I think the season of the spook sounds much more appealing. Woodle Tree Adventures is an old-school platform game with a catchy and unique art style. Yeah, sure, okay, this is unique. This tree looks nothing like the debut tree. If anything, Zelda copied Woodle Tree. Okay, for real. Woodle Tree Adventures is a 3D platforming. Woodle Tree Adventures is a game. Woodle Tree Adventures is a software that you can control. That you can attempt to control. There we go. It was released on the June of 2014 to astonishing ratings. But somehow they've gone upwards from 1.5 to 3.5. I would say nostalgia usually has something to do with that, but what is there nostalgia to be about this game? A loss of your time and money? Ah, the good old days. So this game is a happy-go-lucky adventure, and that's the complete opposite of Halloween, which is spooky, right? So today we're going to be reviewing Woodle Tree Adventures, I guess, and it's going to be split up into 4 different sections: story, art style, gameplay, and soundtrack. This is going to be epic. From what I've played, I learned that you play as an unnamed hero who looks like a stump of a tree and came out of the ground after being summoned by a big Minecraft Deku tree looking guy. The land is going through some kind of water shortage, and you've been tasked with gathering 3 large fairy tears from each world to provide water to the land. And as the Steam page says, bringing back peace and balance and finally becoming the new hero. What makes this even better is the final 2 paragraphs of the Steam page description. If you loved games like Banjo-Kazooie and Mario 64, never fear, Woodle Tree will take you back to the good old days. The whole gameplay is a hybrid between an art game and a platformer that is meant to be played by adults and children and to bring happiness to all souls. I'm sorry, but what about this is similar to Banjo and Mario 64? You collect stuff in 3D? Yeah, I guess, but apart from that, look at it! Also, an art game? An art game? Brings happiness to all souls. I mean, for the entire hour of my playthrough, I only experienced a few seconds of happiness, closing the tab. The rest of the time I was just confused on what was happening and whether this game was a joke or not. I'm getting off topic. I mean, the story does kind of harken back to the old 3D platformers of yore, but still, it was released nearly 20 years after them. I think even the most basic of games should have a more exciting story. The story segment gets a 2 out of 5. Woodle Tree Adventures is an art game of solid colours. Super Mario 3D Land had more of an original art style than this, and that game was pretty bland in the art department. It kind of reminds me of how I see modern animation, generic and boring. Woodle Tree is nothing special. I mean, I'm sorry Chubby Pixel, but I know you probably didn't have the budget or time to make something, you know, decent. But this does not look appealing. I mean, why did you think this was going to sell? I mean, obviously it did, but still, it's horrid. Circle trees, the perfectly square everything, unique enemy designs, the end goalpost. I just can't. This art style sucks. It looks like a mobile game. Hell, even a mobile game looks better than this. I've really wanted to give praise to it. I've really tried to, but everything looks the same. The biggest problem I had was that I couldn't tell what was evil or not. I mean, look at these guys. Which is evil and which is not. It's a mystery. Speaking of the enemies, what are these designs? They're just a mess of 3D shapes. What thought was put into them? Also, the best part of the art style, the level selector. I really love how it doesn't connect with the textures. Quality decision. The other thing that I hate is the thing with his bag. As you get more apples, which is one of the main collectibles, the bag expands. But it looks absolutely atrocious. Just look at it. The best looking character design is probably the hero himself, which is the start, I guess, but I'd really prefer maybe the whole entire game had its own identity instead of just looking like Blandy McGee. The art style of Woodle Tree Adventures gets a good old 1 out of 5. It sucks. In all seriousness, Woodle is not fun to control. Maybe it's because I've played too many great platforms that I can't appreciate this, but it just doesn't feel right to control, especially compared to supreme games like Poi. To be honest, Super Mario 64 controlled better than this, and this game was released 20 years after 64. So I'm just going to tell you about some of the main issues I had with the gameplay, and basically, there's quite a few. Number 1, when walking off an edge you can't stop moving forwards or turn at all, leading to inevitable doom, which couldn't happen in other platformers. Number 2, when dying anywhere in the stage you got sent straight back to the beginning, most of the time. It sometimes changes and it's very confusing. Number 3, This section of the mountain level. I died so many times because I couldn't stop running for some reason. Number 4. When dying, the camera sometimes glitches, making it impossible to see what is happening. Number 5. Hitting enemies with the leaf is ridiculous. The range is horrid. I could go on, but I don't want to give much more hate on the gameplay. So the gameplay on a whole just isn't fun. Woodle is not good to control. The gameplay and stupid mechanics make it horrid, especially the glitches, and that just makes the whole experience a drag. This is one of the main reasons I just couldn't handle playing past 4 of the worlds. It just started to hurt my brain. The gameplay gets another 1 out of 5. Again, like with most other parts of the game, the soundtrack is really nothing special. It mostly revolves around the flute type thing and repeated sounds and tunes. And I can tell you after being in the same level for about 20 minutes straight, it really starts to grate on your ears. Especially as it kinda tries to sound like Mario music. I think the best way to explain is to show you what it sounds like and play part of the soundtrack from the mountains level. No, that was not a joke. The music for that level was just someone playing the keyboard on MIDI. And it repeats again and again and again. Please help. Trust me when I say this, but I never want to play those songs again in my life. It hurts my head. The soundtrack to Woodle Tree Adventures gets a 1 out of 5. It gets a 1 because it does try something, even though it didn't work. They tried to craft something memorable, I guess. Yeah, that's right, I praised the game. Overall, the score for Woodle Tree is 5 out of 20, and even though this is not a good score from me, I've got to give Chubby Pixel some credit. The amount of hours it takes to make a game, because of the inevitable hard work that it needs to be put in, it can take its toll on the actual quality of the game, and it really shows here. This game was not fun, this game was not great, this game was bad. So if there's one thing that you can take away from this video, it's that Woodle Tree Adventures sucks. I mean, I'm glad it exists, I guess. It provides an experience of 3D platformers. It gives you a good time? No. It gives you a bad time? But still, I'm glad it exists. I mean, it kind of deserved to exist. I guess it was a trial one for Chubby Pixel to make a 3D platformer game, and I hope to see more things from them in the future. Just hopefully not Woodle Tree. This series has never deserved to be touched again, and they made a sequel?